Okay. So, yun na nga. Saan na ba ako? Tulad ng sinabi ko dun sa last video, I'm still attending church ever since na umalis ako, nag-step away ako sa dati kong church. I still attending a different church, same Christian church, just a different name. And people from that church reach out to me. Up until now, actually, they're still messaging me. And these are good people. These are genuinely good people. They really cared about me. They prayed for me. They check on me. Talagang nag-e-effort sila. And I'm thankful for them. And I really mean that. Pero dumating yung time na I noticed something, and that something made me pull away even to those people na nag-reach out to help. Kasi nga, every conversation, every time na mag-uusap na lang kami, every time na share nila ako, parang laging papunta doon sa direksyon na balik ka na sa ministry. Balik ka na sa pagli-lead. And instead of maramdaman ko na they want me to go back to God, mas greater yung gusto nila akong bumalik sa paglilingkod sa ministry kaysa bumalik ako sa Diyos. Which, hindi naman ako umalis sa Diyos. Hindi naman ako nawala sa Diyos. Nawala ako sa church. And in this video, I want to talk about the difference. At kung ano yung nangyari when I actually said yes. Bago ako magpatuloy, gusto ko lang maging malinaw sa lahat. I'm not here to expose anyone. I'm not bitter. Hindi masama ang loob ko sa kanila. Like I said, I'm very grateful to them that they're doing that. Hindi ako magpapangalan ng tao, hindi ako magpapangalan ng church. I will not even build a case against a church or any church. At ulitin ko, these people are really good people. They have a good heart. Nakita nila yung experience ko, nakita nila yung potential ko. They saw someone that could feel the need, and that's not wrong. All they want is to help me back on track. Kaya this video is not about them being wrong. Itong video na to is about a feeling na most of us, mga ex-leaders, ex-Christian ministers, na dala-dala natin. And the hardest part is we can't even explain what it is. Yung feeling na the only version of you that anyone knows how to value is the useful one. Itatry kong i-describe yung feeling na yon, and then sabihin nyo sa akin sa comment kung familiar. Umalis ka ng ministry kasi napagod ka or somehow nagkaroon ka ng failure or a mistake or a combination of it, but you turn out to step away. Lumayo ka muna, binitawan mo yung ministry, silently man yan or nagpaalam ka ng maayos, but at the end of the day, wala ka ng ministry, like umalis ka na sa ministry. And people start reaching you out. Siguro lumipas yung ilang buwan, ilang taon, and then yung mga dati mong ka-churchmate or kasama mong mga nagle-lead is masasalubong mo or magkakausap kayo and they starting to say, "Oh, we miss you. Na-miss ka na namin. Kailan ka babalik sa church?" Tapos yung iba sasabihin pa na, "Huwag mo sayangin yung gift mo. Sayang naman yung talent mo, yung talent na binigay sa'yo ng Lord. Kailangan ka ng ministry." But don't get me wrong, those are kind words. Those are with good intentions. And everyone meant well. Pero, bibihirang-bibihira yung mga ngamusta. Like, mangangamusta lang talaga. Or somehow, yung iba, nagsisimula naman sa kamusta, pero, alam mo yun, pag nagtuloy-tuloy yung usapan, papunta pa rin doon. Sa, balik ka na sa ministry. Balik ka na sa church. At nangyari rin yun sa akin. Hindi doon sa dati kong church, pero doon sa church na inatinan ko. I actually said yes. I eventually gave in. Nag-yes ako doon sa ino-offer nila na mag-ministry ulit o balik ulit sa paglilingkod. I said yes. Pero hindi sa malaking like pagpipreach agad, no. There's a lot of process to go through. Pero in a small things like pinasama nila ako doon sa small group. I start attending small group for how many weeks or months, and then eventually ako na yung pinagtuturo, ako na yung pinagli-lead doon sa small group na yun. So syempre naisip ko baka ito na yung way in ko to finally, start again. Once a week lang naman siya, so why not? Hindi naman siya ganun kabigat. And at first, it was fine. Everything is good. Pero dahan-dahan, that Bible study a week started to feel heavy. Nade-drain ako ng simpleng maliit na gawain na yon. Dumarating yung time na naiinis ako kapag naaalala kong malapit na naman yung araw na yon na magtuturo na naman ng Bible study. Hindi ako masaya. And it becomes really a burden to me. Siyempre, may work ako and then all throughout the week. Pero pag dumarating na, at maalala ko na malapit na yung mismong araw na pagtuturo ko, lalo akong nababurden. To be exact, naiirita ako. And actually, it was very confusing to me kasi maliit lang naman yung gawain na yun. Maliit lang naman yung Bible study. It's just an hour, once a week. Pero bakit ganito yung nararamdaman ko? Alam ko na mali yun. Pero ilang beses nangyari yon hanggang sa finally kinausap ko yung pastor and then I asked him na ilipat sa iba yung paglilid kasi my heart and my mind is not right. When I finally got out of that small group, I keep on praying, I keep on talking to God, and I understand something really important na hindi pala importante kung maliit lang yung ginagawa mo o yung gawain mo sa Diyos o yung ginagawa mong ministry. Kasi kala ko, since maliit lang siya, kakayanin ko. Like, pwede na. Pwede na ako magsimula doon since hindi naman siya sobrang laking gawain. Pero still, ang bigat pa rin niya kahit ang liit lang naman. Because the problem was never the amount. What is the size of the work? Ang problema is, I'm still doing it empty. I'm still not fed. And I'm still performing. Masabi lang na may ginagawa ako. May mai-report lang ako doon sa pastor na nag-assign sa akin doon sa small group na yon. So, ibig sabihin, you can shrink the workload into 1 hour or 30 minutes and still you will feel burdened. I also realize, hindi ko naman talaga kailangan ng tulong para bumalik. Like I said, I know how to do it. I know the process. What I need is help remembering na kahit wala akong ministry, na kahit wala akong ginagawang gawain para sa Diyos, mahal ako ng Diyos. And that's the whole thing. For 15 years, my worth and my work became the same thing. Being useful was being valued. Being needed was being loved. They fused together until hindi ko na alam kung anong pagkakaiba. What I really need is someone to sit with me without talking ministry. Just to want me there. And that's really rare. And kaya nagtataka ako bakit bibihirang-bibihira yung mga ganon. Yung mga ganong leaders, active leaders. And I want to be careful on this one because I came to a church na output-based. Ibig sabihin, yung standard is based sa output mo, ilan yung nadidisciple mo, ilan yung nadadala mo sa church. Somehow, church-centered, gaano ka ka-active, ilang beses kang nagde-devotion sa isang linggo, ilang beses ka umaattend ng prayer meeting, ilan yung na-follow up mo every Sunday service o bago mag-Sunday service, ilan yung dala mo na umattend ng Sunday service. Kailangan, pag Sunday service, kailangan may dala ka. Kailangan may specific numbers na madala ka. Yung attendance mo as leaders is really important kasi minamarkahan yun, binabantayan yun kasi kapag hindi ka na masyadong active, nakabase na rin din yung spiritual life mo. Ibig sabihin, nanlalamig ka na kapag hindi ka na masyadong uma-attend ng church or ng mga activity. Ibig sabihin, kapag hindi ka na masyadong active as leader, nanlalamig ka na. And now, I am starting to wonder if some of those people na nag-reach out sa akin is ganun din. Maybe they have the same system. Maybe not the exact system, but yung kultura na nakasanayan na kailangan gawin mo to kasi pag hindi mo to ginawa, baka may problema sa spiritual life mo. Now again, I don't want to judge them, but maybe part of them is they're actually doing it with a good heart, with a good intention, but another part is iniisip nila na this is my task. This is what I need to do dahil ito yung inassign sa akin ng head pastor. And again, I really understand them kasi ganun yung shaping nila eh. Ganun yung training sa kanila eh. And I don't blame them kasi ganun din yung naging sistema ko. Ganun din kasi yung nakalakihan ko. Na kailangan gawin namin yun. Kailangan mag-reach out kami kasi chine-check yun. So now, if you're a leader, a Christian leader, and you're still active, and you're reaching out for people, I want to gently ask you this question. Kapag ka ba kinakausap mo yung ex-members or ex-leaders ninyo, are you really reaching out for their souls? Or you're just reaching out to fill a slot? or para may ma-checkan ka lang doon sa task mo or doon sa checklist mo na gagawin mo on that day or on that week. And be honest, do you still know the difference? Kasi ako hindi ko alam yung difference eh. For how many years, hindi ko alam kung ano yung pagkakaiba nun. Ngayon ko lang siya naunawaan, ngayong ako yung nire-reach out at nandun ako sa sitwasyon na yun. And speaking of, kung ikaw naman yung nanonood na nandito ka sa same situation ko and someone is reaching you out and you're trying to avoid them, dinedeflect mo yung message nila, you're not even seeing, hindi mo sinisin yung kanilang mga message, hindi mo sinasagot yung mga calls nila, and kung magkakaroon man ng chance na kayo magkakasalubong, hi, hello lang, and then wala na. Let me tell you this, you're not crazy and you are not ungrateful. But then again, you don't owe anyone a yes. And okay lang magsabi na, I'm taking my time. And I want to remind you, even to myself, I keep reminding this, na kahit noon na wala ka sa ministry at wala ka pang ginagawa para sa Diyos, hindi ka pa nagsuserve, mahal ka na ng Diyos. And also, kung ikaw naman yung leader, active leader ka, don't think na mahal ka lang ng Diyos dahil may ginagawa ka o dahil may nire-reach out ka, dahil meron kang ministry. Remember, mahal ka ng Diyos kahit noon na wala ka pang ministry. And just a refresher, this channel is about reaching out to those ex-Christian leaders and ministers who step away. And you know to yourself that you still love God, you still have faith, napagod ka lang, or siguro you fail and then you step away because of shame, whatever the reason may be. But you know to your heart that you still love God and you still want to serve. I'm not trying to reach everybody. I'm trying to reach you specifically. Kasi naniniwala ako, the leader who knows the difference between being loved and being useful becomes the kind of leader who can finally love people instead of counting them. The one who gets fed first before feeding others becomes someone who feeds people in the right way. Yung leader na ang concern is yung soul, hindi yung slot na kailangan na checkan. God is not yet finished to you. You are being prepared. So, kung merong mang nagre-reach out sa'yo, ikaw na ex-Christian leaders, ex-ministers, and you start feeling like they are reaching out for a worker, not for the person, hear this. You didn't need to get back to work. I believe you know how to. You needed to remember you are loved without it. So let yourself be loved without it. At lagi mo itong tatandaan kasi ito rin yung lagi kong pinapaalala sa sarili ko. Naging anak muna ako ng Diyos bago ako naging servant ng Diyos. He loved me and then I become a son. And don't rush. If you know to your heart that you still want to go back to the ministry, huwag kang magmadali. Make sure that you are being fed. Same thing na ginagawa ko before we go back to serving God through the church, kung saan mang Christian church ka dalahin o gamitin ng Diyos. I'm not perfect. I'm not above any of this. Like I said, I run the same program for 15 years and I'm still on the process. Under construction pa rin ako habang bumabalik ako sa gawain ng Diyos. And don't ever think na wala nang pag-asa para sa iyo at para sa akin. Kasi ako minsan nakakaisip din ng ganon. And the Lord keeps on reminding me that the door is still open for us. So if you're walking back too, tara, balik tayo.